that my guest today, Sharon Wright, was the organiser of the first Stephanie Alexander Kitchen Garden Foundation conference I went to in 2008. It's so fabulous to have a lengthier conversation so you can find these little gems. Hello, Sharon. How are you?
I'm great, Robin, and how are you today?
Fabulous. Thank you so much for all of that mucking around of getting the phone set and cleaning the ceiling fan, which looks gorgeous in the background. And
oh, look, it's my pleasure. My phone is set on about 10 different kinds of books on my bed because it's the only place I can escape from the kids.
And it's that time of the day, isn't it, when they're going to be tired and hungry?
Hungry, and that's it. So, but no, they're good. I've got them all set up, so we're all fine, ready to roll.
You're a champion. Now, what is your first piece of random shit to share?
Well, I thought I'd show you this fabulous favourite painting or print.
Ooh.
It's the Smoking Lady.
That's gorgeous.
So cool. I found this randomly in a antique shop in Headingham, which is in Essex. And when I was working with Jamie Oliver, we did a TV show and we were running a program called Jamie's Chef, and the whole program format was to set up a country pub in the middle of Essex. And it just so happened to be called the Cock Inn at Beasley End, which was right next door to Rotten End, believe it or not.
Yes.
And we thought, it's got to be a joke. Are you kidding me? We cannot be putting this on television. But they did. They thought it was funny. But I met the most wonderful. So we basically set up this gastro pub in the middle of nowhere. And I met this fantastic waitress, Kerry, who used to go, on our days off, used to go op shopping and go look at all the fantastic antique stores and stuff like that. And I also found this fabulous Chinese leather hat box as well.
Wow.
Red leather, with all the, the pointer work on it. It was fantastic. So they've come with me all the way from England. And things that I just, love looking at and reminding me of those times.
Yeah, that's wonderful, isn't it? I love having items that, particularly for such a long time ago, when you worked there, did you have to fill that space with items from the op shops?
No, we didn't. It was when we bought the place, so the Foundation, 15 Foundation, bought the property, but it was all really, part of a TV program that was through Channel 4. So we had some control over the format and some not. But yeah, they did a whole refurb on it, and we didn't have to do any sort of particular style. The chef Aaron Craze, who won the competition, he could basically do whatever he wanted with the builder. So it was a very challenging experience because the chef had zero head chef experience. He had gone straight from being a sort of a sous chef at best to running his own business. And always going to be fraught with challenges, and it certainly was.
Yeah, and that's what makes good television, isn't it?
Well, yeah, there was that. That was one of the highlights and sort of lowlights in a way as well of working with Jamie. But overall, the experience was incredible. So.
Yeah, how fabulous! I think you've got 101 really good stories tucked away there. I'd like to hear some more of them at some point. I'm going to share just one piece today because this time last year I was largely in bed with a broken leg and dislocated ankle. And I know. It's all healed now. You can
do that?
It's funny you should ask that, Sharon, because what really happened is so boring that I refuse to tell the story. And I invite you, not now necessarily, but make up an adventure story for me.
Okay.
How did Robin break her leg and fully dislocate her ankle? So I'll leave that with you, and we might put it up later. But at this time of the year, I really like to collect lots of flowers from around the garden and the neighbourhood. And I couldn't do it last year because I was confined to quarters. But I've been collecting. So I know that you can't see it, but the viewer can. So I've got rose petals and mandarins because it's been mandarin season. The jasmine is out now, so I've got lots of jasmine flowers and lavender, just all sorts of things. And mint. I found like the mother lode of mint growing at my mother-in-law's place. And so I've dried all of these, and so once they're all dried, then I put them together in various combinations and make my next year's potpourri.
Fantastic.
I know, it's such a lovely thing to do. It's like my little hobby.
I love it. Well, that might be a fantastic segue into my next piece.
Oh, good.
Guess what that is?
I don't know. I'm staring at it. It is.
This is a paper flower.
It's gorgeous.
Isn't it cute that my little 8-year-old Jasmine gave me for Mother's Day about 2 years ago, and I just cannot throw it away.
No, do not throw it away ever, Sharon.
It's so cute, isn't it? Just put little things on. So it was actually Jazzy's 8th birthday just a few weeks, on the 10th, so 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
So I have 2 little girls, one Bonnie, who is turning 10 at the end of this month, and Jazzy, who's turning 8. And as we were talking about earlier on with Stephanie Alexander's Kitchen Garden Foundation, when I left Jamie, went to Melbourne, and my partner Scott, who we've been together for like 20 odd years, he was working at 15 in Melbourne, which had that's got a long story to it as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember the story about 15 Melbourne, how it burnt down?
Yes.
Yeah, we had all sorts of dramas going on with that one. But then, so because Scott and I had been away from home for cause I worked with Jamie for 5.5 years. So we've been away for a long time, and we had literally had 0 summer in the UK. We'd had 2 probably stints of around about 3 weeks of summer in 5 years, and I just had enough. I just needed to have some sunshine. And coming from Noosa, my partner's from Noosa, so I was like, okay, well, let's come home. I'm getting old, better start thinking about having some children. And so Bonnie and Jasmine turned up. And so that's the reason why we left Melbourne at the time, was because we thought, it's time to put down some roots, and I could never quite bear the thought of bringing the kids up in London, just the grey and just the public transport. I thought, no, it's just, and you want them to be around with their family as well, so that's
Absolutely.
what we did.
Yeah. Well, that's a terrific thing, and I think we've probably got so many friends in common now that you've said that you've been working at 15 and then with the Kitchen Garden Foundation.
Yeah.
And now the various roles you've had in Noosa. It's just it might be an opportunity for us to have a cuppa sometime, I think.
Absolutely, I'd love to, Robin.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do a deep dive then, but yeah. So when we came back up to Noosa in 2009, then I started studying at USC and was sort of studying and working and having children. So that's why I've had so many lots of short contract jobs because doing events and things like that while you're trying to finish off your uni degree and have 2 children.
Yeah, well, you did the Noosa Food and Wine Festival too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did that for a couple of years, and we were there. at the end as well, which was all a very big shock.
Yes.
To us. I mean, he never told us just how bad it was. So yeah, it was a real shame the way that it all ended up. But you know, we had some amazing opportunities and experiences with the Food and Wine Festival. It was a great thing to be involved in.
Absolutely, and I had the opportunity to be there for a couple of years with the Stephanie Alexander Kitchen Garden Foundation too, and
good.
just such fun.
It was so much fun, and like, he knows how to put on a show. Like, you know, he's just he loves it, and you know, there was always a sense of glamour around his events. He would always make sure that there was, you know, there was a lot of wow factor going on. And I used to manage the Delicious, you know, the Grand Marquee, where the Delicious Produce Awards were, and the sponsors. And actually, I got onto that through Leonie Palmer. You might know Leonie.
Yes.
From yeah. So she's a long-term friend of ours, and so I kind of took over from her when her and Steph moved back down to Melbourne. And, yeah, then the rest is history, basically.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of that, Sharon. I'm really very keen to catch up and have a cuppa and something delicious to eat.
Yeah.
So let's do that sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. You're on.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We're kind of back to some sort of other routine now that we've moved on from Bankfoot House, and I am looking for my next random shit in my house guest. It might be you. Why don't you send me a message? Thanks, Sharon.
No, thank you, Robin. It was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. So, you know, Nathan Hoxema and Jackie as well. They were at 15.
No.
Nathan was a chef down there at 15.
In Melbourne?
In Melbourne.
Okay. Yeah, we weren't there for that long. Because we were there in 2008 till the end of 2008. But I mean, Scott might remember them, but I was really more working with Stephanie, so I didn't. I mean, I knew Toby Puddock and Maddie and you know, all those guys, and Glenn Flood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about, I'm just trying to think of her, Hayley. Hayley. No, not Hayley Comet. Hayley Robinson. Do you know Hayley Robinson?
That rings a bell.
She worked with Jamie on as his in one